We're now joined by Texans safety Jalen Pitre, former Baylor All-American, 365 Sports. It's good to see your face. Well, obviously, we start with what happened, in the last few days with the contract extension, what that means to you, the security, and also the Texans taking care of you for what you represent.
For sure. I'm really thankful, really excited to get back to work and show them that I'm worth every penny.
Was that something you expected, the business part of it now, or did that really come into play? I know that it's business and you got to make sure that everything stays on course.
I wouldn't say expected, but I knew that it was going to eventually come up. I just try to attack every day and show up, and put the work in, and then you look up and it's been 3 years, and thankfully we're getting extended, so we're able to play here a little longer. But definitely never tried to think too much about it. Just tried to focus on the work.
Jalen Pitre with us, the Texans and Baylor University. Terrell Bernard was on with us just, 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's your running buddy. And, of course, he had a contract that took care of him, too. Have you guys discussed that a little bit? We'll get out of business in a minute, but the fact that both of you got extended during basically the same time period?
A little bit. We try not to talk too much about that type of stuff. We try to just let that take care of itself. But extremely thankful, and I know he is as well. And I'm super proud of him because he's been nothing but motivation for me to continue going and continue to be, my best self. So shout out to TB for that.
All right, he did tell me something. He said when you both were freshmen that you were in a team meeting, the strength and conditioning coach was talking, and he got you to kind of laugh out loud in the meeting and got you in trouble. Can you kind of give us a little reflection back on that time period?
Yeah, it was plenty of those moments. Just, good times with my dog. And, yeah, I definitely got in trouble, and I definitely was the one laughing out loud a lot. So, but, I would go back and do the same thing for that. But it definitely was worth it because we definitely had a good time.
All right, and so he told me you had to do punishment or whatever throughout that instead of working out with the team. Jalen Pitre with us. All right, 10-7, 10-7, knocking on that door. What are the expectations for Texans and the football fans and the organization moving forward to get over the hump?
Just continue to swarm, continue to try to find new ways to do more, and show up every day ready to work. I think we don't try to, focus on the expectations. We more so process driven, making sure that we're coming up and showing up every day and letting these little increments, add up to big, gains. I think that's the biggest thing that we're focused on and how we're headed into next season.
You've been used to winning, but you've also seen the other side of that. How much of a difference in the spectrum of emotions of when you did not win early on in college or early on in the NFL, but now you've experienced the exhilaration of not winning the whole thing, but being pretty good?
Yeah, I think it just kind of equates back to life. Like, you're going to have ups and downs, but it's all about what you learn from it in order to, help you make those good runs, sort of say, and to help you make those longer pushes. So continue to learn and continue to evolve and continue to try to improve myself in order to help this team out.
How much do you work on your body during the off season, knowing that the banging, the beating, the attrition of physical part of the game will start happening when you get into the season?
A lot. That's all I do. I eat, sleep, and rehab and work out, all of that. Like, it's 24/7 football for me. So I'm definitely invested in the game.
How much during the season do you have? How long does it take? Is it like off the top the first game, or is it 3, 5, 10 games into the season that it takes you to get over the weekend before you feel good about playing the next game?
That's a good question, and it's definitely, different for everybody. But I start feeling good around Thursday, and start feeling my pop back and start feeling my feet, just feel a little bit lighter, and then by the time Friday and Saturday come, I'm usually ready to roll.
I've never seen somebody with better instincts of being where you need to be. That doesn't mean that you're perfect on every play, but it's amazing. And I go back to your days when you see this bullet coming through or attacking the backfield of an opponent, whether it was you or TB or who or both. How much of that is watching film, Jalen, and how much of that is just instincts of knowing football?
Um, I would say those two are definitely huge pieces, but I want to give a lot of credit to, my teammates and coaches for allowing me to, you know, play that way. And they definitely helped me to play off of them. And we do vice versa. Like me and TB did in college, like I'm still doing it here with a lot of the Texans on the team. So it's definitely a team to team basis, and definitely like how my coaches are putting me in these situations. I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Jalen, professional football is a business. There's no question about it, and you're playing it. Do you sometimes still pinch yourself? You've earned this opportunity, but do you sometimes pinch yourself that you're in the league and you're being successful while you're doing it?
For sure. I'm definitely grateful to be here and to be in this position to, get extended. And I definitely remember all the times where, I just wanted to play football, like to be at the highest level and to be, you know, compensated very highly. It's definitely a blessing. And I definitely don't take it for granted. There are days where, my ego can get the best of me and I can, start to feel myself, but it's all about, definitely trying to, humble myself and continue to show up ready to work.
Who taught you that?
God is still teaching me that. I'm not there yet 100%. Like I still fall short. But definitely him and definitely the people that he's putting around me to, continue to help me in that regard.
Baylor bounced back last year, Jalen, after a rugged 23, and of course they didn't end well in 22, and then early on last year. How much do you get to watch them during the season and watch how they were able to bounce back and end the year pretty well despite the bowl loss to LSU?
I'm always tapped in. If I can't watch them because we're in a meeting or we're at practice, I'm definitely tuned into the score after the meeting. So I'm always locked in with the scores and whatever is going on with Baylor football, and I wish them the best.
Last thing, I know you're busy, you got things to do. You have always been one to give back. I saw recently you had introduced in front of a bunch of children, and you always give back. How much does that make you feel? And it's always been who you are, but what does that mean to you? In some cases, maybe more than the kids or the people you're talking to.
That's a great question. I think it's just my duty to give back with all that I do have. God has blessed me with so much. And I feel like it's my duty to give back as much as I can and try to inspire the kids coming up that they can do it, whatever it is. Like, because my parents did that for me, and there were definitely some older people in my life that definitely poured that inspiration into me. And I'm just trying to, give that back to the greatest degree and try to help out as many as I can.
If there's a young man out there like overlooked, he might be 12 or 15, a high school kid. Well, what suggestion or advice would you give them about not giving up their dreams to play football?
Yeah, I would say if you're getting overlooked, use that overlooking as motivation to help you work harder and help you do those tangible things, the offers, the money, the recognition, and then after that, it's about making sure that you're using all the opportunities that you are given to the best of your ability. But it starts with definitely doing more and working harder because if you're not getting seen and you're getting overlooked, to be honest, it's your fault. So you just got to do more, and that's the route that I took.
Jalen, it's always a pleasure to see you, talk to you, and have loved everything you've represented, buddy. Good luck. Congratulations on the contract. Good luck during the offseason, and we'll see you soon. Appreciate it.
Yes, appreciate you, David.
You. Jalen Pitre, Houston, Texas, former Baylor All-American on 365 Sports.